I'm pretty sure that we all can agree that school projects suck. The mere thought of having to do something that seems so insignificant but still ends up consuming 30% of your grade just makes me wanna.
Oh my god! Oh jeez, oh my god!
But at least you can be sure that whatever project you're working on will probably be over within the next couple of days. Well, all that gets thrown out the window with a little project called the Science Fair Project. One of the worst projects I've ever had to do. So if you somehow don't know what the Science Fair is, it's basically a glorified science project that are presented on one of these things and almost always have a title that says the effect of something on something else. Honestly, I never really had a single thought about ever trying to do a science fair project until the 4th grade, when out of nowhere, Mrs. Des decided to make a public service announcement.
I come to make an announcement. Shadow the Hedgehog's a bitch-ass motherfucker.
So you know how you guys are basically in an honors class since you're learning 5th grade math in 4th grade? Well, because of this, I decided I'm going to make the science fair mandatory for all of you. So, yeah, have fun. 5 minutes and a couple questions later, I was in a decently sized group making no progress while being pretty confused. And since the friends I had at the time didn't give a crap about the project, kind of just wasted time while the girls planned out how they'd invade Canada with a popsicle stick. And at this point, I would have probably talked about what we decided to do and how it turned out, but we never did the project since the teacher never really decided to do anything related to the science fair project after that, which shows more instances of Mrs. Desk being stupid. Wait, I thought you said this was one of the worst projects you've ever had to do. You literally did nothing for the project. How was it that bad? Slow down, slow down. We'll get to the part where I actually do the project later. But before that, I want to talk about one more thing about the science fair at an elementary school level. Why the heck does the science fair look exactly the same every single year no matter what was going on in science in the real world? Like seriously, it's so hard to articulate how weird it is to think about how nothing changed year after year. It was literally always just made up of 6 baking soda and vinegar volcanoes next to random projects about actual environmental issues that nobody cared about. Cause screw learning about how global warming and rising sea levels affect the cycle that causes erosion. I want to see what happens when you add baking soda and vinegar for the 36th time. Woo! Science actually works! But it took me a long time for me to make it work well. I just exploded and I wasted 4 hours working for a good YouTube video to teach me how to do it. No, I don't want to hear any of it. You're just being lazy. Alex? Did you make a project about erosion or something? What? No, some other kid did, and I remember absolutely nothing about their project. Anyway, I think it's about time I actually talk about what happened when I actually had to do this science fair project. It was a normal day in science when the teacher randomly decided to say, oh yeah, you guys are supposed to do the science fair this year. Plants are usually popular experiments, and here's a link. If you can't think of a topic, it helps you. Oh, and by the way, your topic and at least one source is due, like, in a week or so. So, yeah, have fun. At that exact moment, everybody crapped themselves a little. Basically, nobody knew that we had to do the project. When I signed this contract, I thought I only signed up for science. Now tell me, where in this contract did it say I had to do the science fair project? It didn't. So you scammed us! Do you know the legal consequences that come with scamming people like this with their contracts? I mean, yeah, but we're the school board, so you're the one that's gonna face consequences if you don't start your project soon. Holy crap, you're right. So armed with this new information, I had to think of an actual topic, and since I was prepared to do the science fair project, I couldn't think of anything. I knew I had to do something about plants since my mom just randomly found lettuce and cilantro seeds, but my brain literally decided to. The only way I actually thought of a topic was by stealing Mr. Jalape's idea. But as previously stated, we also had to have one source. So after Googling if lettuce grows in the fall followed by how to grow lettuce, I had a source. A random site I had never heard of before talked about how to plant lettuce. And once I did that, I was done with the science fair project. Until the next due date decided to creep up on me. But this time I needed to find 5 sources, which... why? What is even the point of having so many sources? I'm the one running the experiment here. It's not I'm going to be talking about somebody else's experiment. I'm not even going to use any of these sources. I only have them because it was a graded thing. Sure, it's helpful to know when I should water the lettuce, But I don't care, I'll water it when it looks like it needs to be watered. And another annoying thing about sources is that they have to be reliable, which basically means that you could only use school-approved websites, and most websites that end with .com are off the table, which is almost any website to ever exist. And the worst part about these school-approved websites is that they didn't tell me at all. These specific science websites specifically had what I didn't need. So even though I finished the sources, I still got an F because they didn't deem the websites to be reliable. It's the freaking internet. You gotta either accept that it's all reliable or none of it is. Having a gray area just makes confusing gray areas. This is a science project, not an English essay, gosh darn it. Which happens to be the perfect transition to the next thing we had to do. Write an essay about everything you learned from your sources for background information. Why? Why did we have to write an essay? It literally never came back later. We never had to use this for anything else. And the only times it did come back was when the teacher decided to criticize it, even if she hadn't said anything about it on the last time she graded it. And to be honest, this was most of the project in a nutshell. The teacher would say nothing about a certain section the first time she read it, then start criticizing the absolute crap out of it the next. It'd be like if you showed your friend a Sonic drawing you made, asked them what they thought of it, with them responding it looked good. Then when you show them the same drawing but with a background, they start nitpicking the crap out of Sonic and not the background. Literally the only thing that hasn't changed. But once I was done with all the layouts of the experiment, I had to do the actual hardest part. The experiment. Keeping the plants alive, remembering to water them, measuring them each week, and not forgetting that they exist for the fear of the mess that would follow if you did. All of this, just some of the things I was forced to do. And since I'm amazing at anything gardening, naturally, all the plants died by week 4, out of nowhere, for no reason. But I don't care, I'll water it when it looks like it needs to be watered. But after all that, I was still not done with the science fair project. There was one major part left. The actual science fair board. Now at this point I'm just thinking that the whole project is just a scheme to make science pay to win due to the amounts of money you have to dump on it. But I can't complain, since the school can just get away with things, and it'll be easier if I just waste all the money. And since writing essays, paragraphs, wasting money, and presenting it to our teachers just isn't enough for schools around the globe, we had to present it in front of judges. Luckily, I didn't have to on my first and so far only science fair due to not writing 2 sentences on a website used to run this science fair. Obviously, I got a grade reduction for it, but it was worth it because the science fair was one of the most unorganized events that have ever happened in my school. Everybody was crammed into the library and forced to stand by their project until a judge came to them, and just like your dad, they never came until it was very inconvenient. I know this because my teacher brought us to the science fair to make us feel bad for not finishing it. I know that might not sound too bad for some of you and you're just screaming, learn some patience from your screen, but I'm not joking when I say that most teachers didn't even know what was happening or what was going on, including my science teacher. She only found out all the information the day right before the science fair, and she wasn't even able to tell us since we didn't have science that day. So if there's one thing I learned from making this video, it's that the science fair is universally annoying. Literally everyone I know that did the science fair hated it. What's even the point of the science fair? Promoting education or discovery? Because not gonna lie, it did the exact opposite for me. Once again, it's just another case of school ruining something by forcing it down people's throats. But at least they made learning into a glorified sport by making it a competition, because how else are you going to make learning attractive to children by making it fun? That's preposterous! But I like competition. Not the time, Josh. This is about the modern approach to education. Completely harebrained! Like this video?
Hello, welcome to the end of the video. Like, comment, and subscribe if you enjoyed. You know, the usual stuff you should do after you make it through a 9-minute video. Unless you have this in the background. Which I'm not complaining. I guess that's watch time. Anyway, this video has nothing to do with the ARG, just putting that out there. So you won't try finding anything. If you are, I honestly think most of you don't know what's happening. But still, I'll probably have a comment about it, though. The comment's probably going to be related to the ARG, so Hope you know it exists. If you don't, hope you know now. But anyway, have a nice day, and goodbye.